This is the Flex Network. Flex on everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Flex Network. I'm your host, Flex Shane. You can follow me on Twitter at the Flex Network 1. Today, I'm joined by apparently Jason Voorhees, Brandon D. Adam 19 on Twitter. Brandon, happy Halloween, brother. How you doing?
Happy Halloween, everybody! This is one of my favorite times of the year. I love it so much, and I'm so excited. Yeah, for sure. I think I'm more excited than my kids. So I've been watching. I just watched the new Halloween last night. Hey, everybody should watch that. It's not bad. It's actually not. That's actually really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was fun.
So it sounds like you're a bit of a horror kid growing up.
Yeah.
Were you more of like a Friday the 13th kind of guy or a Halloween kind of guy? I feel like there's two camps.
Okay, so I am 100% Michael Myers, but
respect.
I went to the store late and all they had was Jason stuff, so I just got the Jason hockey mask. And also I'm going to the Avs game tonight with my wife, and I'm going to wear my Voorhees mask.
That's sick. I love that. Yeah, so I was like, we had this little local movie store. This was back in the day when it was like VHS cassettes. And I think it was like grade 7. It was me and my buddy, and we just like we were really into horror movies. He was distinctly a Halloween kind of guy.
Me too,
and,
man.
I was Friday the 13th, but the first horror movie I ever saw was one of the Friday the 13th ones. So that's probably
Friday the 13th is nothing to sleep on. Jason's awesome.
Absolutely. So we got our team coming along. We got Jennifer. She said, "I've never watched any of the Halloween movies." Jen, like
you gotta watch a spooky one tomorrow for sure. Check it out.
I think I've seen the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I have zero memory of it, and I just had no interest in any of the other ones.
Honestly, Nightmare on Elm Street screwed me up for a long time when I was a kid. Like that.
Oh yeah.
That was by far the most scary to me. Because honestly, going to sleep and not being able to control what happens is like my complete nightmare. Like that is.
You seen Saw? I never got into the super gore ones. You know what was friggin' good though? Hostel, man. That was sick. Hostel. That was like creepy as shit, man.
Dude, Hostel, I love Hostel. Good. Eli Roth, director. He's a sick man.
Well, he's saying he saw Halloween last night too. Pretty terrible. Prefers Friday.
No. You gotta be in the right. Were you in the mood though? Like you gotta be in the mood for those things. Like I was all pumped up about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm jaded. I just like Michael Myers, so I'm all in. But honestly, I prefer the the zombie editions of Halloween. Those ones are creepy as shit, and wow, like those ones really get me, man. Like I love it.
So what you have to do is you got to get the mood right. You got to turn the lights down low. You got to get like maybe throw in some candles or something like that. Set the mood, and then you get yourself some edibles and tequila.
There you go, Bali. I love it.
That's what you call living life, man. So speaking of living life,
live your best life.
We got week 8 of the NFL Slate today, Brandon, and it's looking to be a good one. So let's just set the people up here real quick, okay?
Sure.
So week 8, there's only 2 teams on bye this week. There's the Ravens and the Raiders. So there are some fantasy relevant players that are not going to be playing, but I mean, really, it's Lamar, and then on the Raiders side,
Waller.
There's Waller, right? But we missed Waller last week, so that's a tough blow.
I know.
To have 2 weeks now with Darren Waller, but I would say. Waller, it was a previous Friday in practice. Somebody stepped on his ankle, which is why he ended up missing the game. We kind of like the fact, timing-wise, this is good, right? I mean, you got to take that bye.
Don't mind it.
You might as well take it now. Dak Prescott, man, he is.
Oh boy,
it's a giant question mark right now.
I don't think he plays.
And the problem is, it's one of the evening games, right? He's playing Sunday night, and here's the thing: are you gonna be comfortable playing Cooper Rush?
No.
Not really, right?
I would rather have Geno Smith, like way more. Like, did you see Cooper Rush in the preseason, man? That guy couldn't make a decision if his life was depending on it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's bad.
I don't know, man. I honestly, I think the only player I would be good with, like on that offensive play, probably is Lamb, like, and Zeke. Like the running game.
You got to play Coop. You got to play your Cooper. No.
Yeah, Coop. Like, honestly, it's going to be like DK and Lockett. Like, whoever the number 1 read is for the play, that's who it's going to. Like it's not going to be second, third options getting open.
Yeah, here's the situation though, right? Because they're going up against Minnesota. I mean, maybe
They're not that great.
If it's thing is, if it's a one QB league, there's probably a good chance Kirk Cousins is available, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to risk it, play Dak Prescott. One, it's a double risk it, right? Obviously, if he plays, he can get injured in the game, and you get screwed in that sense. And then obviously Kirk Cousins has a minimal upside there, right? But Dallas, while their defense is improved, I would say in general, they're still a pretty good team for passing, right? So you're playing all your Vikings, but I'm just talking about if there's going to be a backup, right? I don't think at this point, as of Saturday morning at 8:30 Mountain Time that we're recording this, I don't think Dak's going to play.
Nope.
So be prepared for that, people.
I know. It breaks my heart. It sucks.
Yeah. And then in terms of backup on Monday night, you got KC, which obviously Mahomes is going to be taken, and then Daniel Jones, who even in a one quarterback league, he might be rostered, right? So
he's rostered 100%. He's rostered.
Yeah, exactly. Jennifer, you got your win last week. It's finally because your guys, AJ Brown, is finally doing work. Lost Bobby. That's a tough one, man. Right at the end of the game. So here's the thing. I was not watching the game. I was out doing like adult shit, which is strange. I went out and we saw like this it was like a dinner theater kind of thing, right? One of my friends, their parents had like season tickets. It ended up being fantastic. It was like 60s classic folk songs, man. And it was amazing.
Isn't culture amazing? Culture's amazing.
I would say it's probably one of the first like adult things I've done. Like went out with some friends. The kid was at a babysitter's place. I dressed up nice. I put on a sports jacket. I had like a nice shirt on. And it was like an adult thing. So kind of getting back to normal, which was fantastic. But
good for you guys.
I'm kind of checking my phone because thank you, dude. It was fantastic, dude. But like I'm checking my phone. I'm like, Bobby's done nothing. Because I'm streaming them. Because of course I've got Darren Waller in this league. And you get the sleeper update. Bobby gets like a 34-yard reception, and then immediately, he's down on the field. And
blows up.
He's got a torn ACL. So it's tough. We're gonna get into the games, but this is gonna be a tough one right off the bat here. So we got Kadarius Toney going on Monday night. He's got the ankle. It sounds like he's gonna play. He put in a full practice on Friday, but we saw what happened last time. And stop, Mike. Or you playing Marvin Jones, who's clearly the de facto number one there in Jacksonville. Who do you like?
Ooh.
That was tough.
I'm just kidding. Really honestly, tough. Jaguars are going to get Seattle.
Seattle sucks. Oh, we lost you there, Brandon. Brandon, you're muted again. Yeah, so my opinion is Marvin Jones, look, he had a slow start. It was kind of up and down, but I think that they figured out if they're going to get anything done in that passing game, especially with DJ Chark out, it's going to be Marvin Jones, right? So it's a consolidated share. Kadarius Toney, the risk is if he plays, he might miss a game again, right? He tweaks that ankle. So I'm playing Marvin Jones. Mike, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you. What's not amazing about my team? I don't know. It depends on which league you're looking at, because in one league, man, the Banana Hammock Boys, man, I'm loving my team. I just traded for JT.
Hate my team. I'm tired of getting yelled at on the chat as well. Quit yelling at me, Sully. I'm not going to listen to you.
Here's the thing. Freaking Sully, man. He's that guy who he's a two-time champ, and he's got the
run his damn mouth.
Arguably, he's got probably the best team in the league right now because of that swindly trade. You know what I think is absolutely hilarious? This is just a tangent. We're 8 minutes in. We haven't really discussed anything for week to week, but I listen to the JJ Zachariason podcast. And literally on one of his transaction shows today, he just talked about how Tyler Lockett is untradeable. You can't drop him. You're not really comfortable trading him or starting him. And he basically like blasts. It's like, don't even like entertain a trade for Tyler Lockett because your league mates just aren't that stupid.
Yeah. And guess what? Somebody traded Tyler Lockett for Derrick Henry. What the?
You know what's the worst part? I've been playing fantasy football with the Baron for 4 or 5 years at this point, so I know the man very well. He's a friend of mine. We text often. We talk about football. That's probably the worst trade. And here's the thing, right? He regrets it. But you can't do it. You can't go back in time. So let me just say, as a PSA to all you fantasy players out there, be responsible with your trades, be it season long, be it dynasty. There are league tilting trades that if they're that lopsided, and here's the thing, right?
Ruin the league.
I'm anti-veto, man, unless it's straight up collusion, which is hard to prove. you're not going to veto a trade, right? They're two adults that are making a decision, and it's just atrocious. So, you know what?
Yeah, whatever. Let's get going.
Let's get going into our freaking plays of the week.
This
So
is
we're gonna
pissing
do
me
it.
off.
So last week we went game by game because it was such a small slate, and it kind of worked out. So we're gonna try something similar this week. So I'm gonna just, you know what, I'm gonna do right at the start. I'm gonna say we're gonna announce our flex plays as we get to them in the game. So we're gonna rock this. Let's go. All right, brother. First game on the slate. We're going to talk about Atlanta going against Carolina. Atlanta's favored by 3 points. It's a 46 game over under. Talk to me about this game, man. We were just talking about Cordero Patterson before the show started. Who do you like on the Atlanta side? Who do you like on the Carolina side?
So since we're all roster watch brethren, most of us are roster watch nation. You guys got to just check out the ultimate matchup tool, and you will see Atlanta has probably the best matchup for they have a okay matchup against RBs or wide receivers. Like they're
it's middling.
It's middling. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great. So honestly, Cordell Patterson is the guy on this Atlanta team that this whole team is running through. It's kind of crazy to say that, but that's the truth. I mean, Cordell Patterson, literally, you can just not even count his rushing, and he still is a wide receiver too, and he's still an easy flex play every single week. Like, this man is not coming out of my roster, no matter matchup, for anybody. Honestly, like we were just talking about Cortland Sutton or Cordell Patterson. I love Cortland Sutton in this week, but I am not benching Cordell Patterson for anybody out there, especially not just any wide receiver on a middling offense. Like this guy is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's getting 4 to 5 receptions every single week. Plus, he's getting about 50 reception yards. Right?
Yeah,
it's absolutely insanity, and he's also still getting 10 carries a game.
Yeah, so and Mike Davis is gone. Mike Davis is banged up right now. So I could see his workload completely increasing again. And he's going to, dude, it's a pretty, Arthur Smith is pretty creative with this guy. I actually, it's too bad that other coaches earlier in Cordell's, career didn't pick up on the sense of what kind of athlete this guy is and what you could do with him and be creative with him. Because the dude he's a baller. Like, he's a football player, and it's just too bad because I liked him out of the draft. The one thing I said about him out of the draft was you're gonna have to have a coach that believes in this guy because he's not really one position. Like, he can do it all. And sometimes that's a curse to coaches that they can't fit you in a specific role or box. So they just throw you away because they can't understand how you play. But Arthur Smith, man, he found out what Patterson does, and this guy's a superstar this year.
Coaches coach, players play.
Yep.
If a coach is scheming up a play that fits his players, like they're doing in Atlanta now with Cordell Patterson, then the players are going to succeed, right? If they're trying to put a square peg in a round hole, like Nick Sirianni is doing in Philly with Jalen Hurts, it's not going to work. It's pretty clear. It's pretty obvious. Cordell Patterson, man, we talk a lot about unicorns, especially this year. I mean, they have 2 of them on Atlanta. They got Kyle Pitts and they got Cordell Patterson. And look, Calvin Ridley, he's been a disappointment.
I can't believe Calvin Ridley.
You're probably going to continue to start him, but I have more confidence starting Cordell Patterson. Mike Davis is a bum. I don't care if he's getting banged up. He's a bum. You're starting him. What about on the Carolina side? Anybody like on the Carolina side? You got DJ Moore, obviously, but
DJ Moore.
Chuba, you're playing Chuba.
Chuba, yeah. I mean, I'll play anybody against the Atlanta defense. Like, Atlanta's not great at all. They're in shootouts every single week. But they are turning a corner as a team. I think they finally got their footing with this new staff, and I think this new staff is finally getting their groove. I think offensively that Atlanta's going to pick it up. One quick thing. We were talking about possibly doing some trade targets this week with the dynasty plays. I think Calvin Ridley is a complete buy right now. People right now are – I'm a Calvin Ridley owner, and I'm being super patient with him because I know the kind of talent this guy is. He has Stephon Diggs type talent with running routes and whatnot, and he is He is the alpha in that team. And, he's got something going on off the field. The last couple of weeks, I'm hoping his mind is right. And, sometimes, we don't know what's going on with these guys' lives. And maybe he's going through something. I don't know. But it seems like the coaches are saying now that he's back. He's back mentally. I think that's a guy that you can go screen. Like prior to the season, I was touting him as a top 5 dynasty wide receiver with Julio moving on. I love his workload. I love the talent. I think it's going to happen. I just continue starting Calvin Ridley no matter what, because the volume is there. And that's what I try and find is volume. That's it.
We like Kyle Pitts. We like Cordell Patterson. We like Calvin Ridley. Does that mean we like Matt Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, to get by, yeah, but I mean that's fine. Like I actually got him in a couple leagues, and he's been getting me by, man. I have no problem in a 2B QB league with Matt Ryan as your QB2. Like that's what I've been treating him as, and he's been delivering okay the last few weeks, and
18 to 20 points a week. It's not huge upside, but
the thing is, we haven't seen the upside of Atlanta's offense this year at all, really. I think they've been just getting their footing and new staff. I'm telling you, new staff. I think it's been a tougher transition than people understand. And I think down the stretch, Atlanta could be getting better. And I think the last 2 weeks have shown they're getting better.
Yeah, so we got 15 games. We're not just going to talk about Atlanta. Yeah. Carolina will go real quick. DJ Moore, you're starting DJ Moore. Sam Darnold in a pinch. If you can start Sam Darnold as your QB2. I'm not starting him in a 1 QB league. Let's move on. Buffalo. Ooh, baby. Going up against Miami. 13.5 point favorite. 4-9 point over under. I would say from the Buffalo side, you're starting everybody in their dog, man. The only risk is the fact that if they get too far up, that they'll sit their starters at the end of the quarter or at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. Here's the thing. They're putting up points if they're going to be sitting their guys, right? You're starting Josh Allen, obviously. You're starting, I would say, Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley. You're starting Stephon Diggs. You can start Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, only if it's in a pinch. Look, there's 15 games going on, right? So we don't have the same bye week issues we had last week. If you need to start Zach Moss because of injuries, you're doing it. But I don't love either of them, frankly. It's going to be a passing game. And the thing is that Miami can keep up with you, I think. Devontae Parker's questionable this week. Mike Gesicki's balling the hell out. We talked about it last week.
Jalen Waddle, dude, great call last week. Great call last week. Mike Gesicki.
I mean, I don't want to talk too much about this one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I'm comfortable starting players on both sides. Myles Gaskin, I think you got the TD last week. Finally, that's it though, right? Like
Jalen Waddle. I mean, I'm that's another trade target in Dynasty. I've been trying to scoop up, especially with these Watson.
That's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough getting Waddle.
Oh, I know, but you can do it. I mean, that's a guy that I'm willing to kind of pay a premium for, especially with. I think Watson's going to be a Dolphin in 2022.
Maybe Dolphins came out just like, what was it, yesterday? And they said Tua is going to be our quarterback for the rest of the year. So maybe they say that, but it's what's the trade deadline? 4:00 Eastern on Tuesday this week. So we will know very soon. It's not going to happen before the game tomorrow, obviously, but could it happen after? Could it happen on Monday? It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a fun trade deadline regardless. Next game, Chicago going up against San Francisco. This one's low scoring, 39.5. San Francisco's favored by 4 points. Khalil Herbert, you're starting them.
Yes.
Fields, stay the hell away. On the San Francisco side, Deebo Samuel. Holy God. Can we just say we are a little bit we were a year early on Deebo Samuel. We had a lot of him last year, even though he was coming off the injury. Look, he's kind of the real deal, man. So here's the thing, right? We just talked about Cordell Patterson and the type of skill set that he has. Deebo Samuel is one of those yak monsters, right? He's this big-bodied slot, can play the outside, Mr. Reliable. He's got the hands. He's got the burst. Deebo Samuel, we're talking about dynasty trade targets. This is a guy that I think you should go and target. I'm
buy high.
Buy high on Deebo Samuel. He's going to be Mr. Reliable.
I agree.
Love Brandon Ayuk. I don't know what is happening with Brandon
Ayuk
this year.
They need to trade him to like the Pats or something.
Oh my God, that would be fantastic. Oh
yeah.
Deebo Samuel. If you look at the kind of the peripheral numbers, He's doing it all, man. He's doing it all. Brandon Ayuk, kind of the same thing. Last week, he just had a bad opportunity. He could have had 80 yards and a touchdown, but again, he's not getting the opportunity. He's not getting the targets. It's funneled. Kittle's still out, so it's Deebo, and it's going to be fantastic.
What do we do? What are we doing with Kittle in Dynasty? What are you doing with him? I just took a huge risk, and I traded for him for a rebuild team that I'm rebuilding. I completely dismantled a whole roster for, and I've got 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years, and I bought Kittle because tight ends are such a premium, and good ones are really hard to come by. And I'm hoping maybe in 2022 he can put it together. But I don't know. What are you doing with him? What do you think his trade value is?
Man, he still has a name value. I say if you can get a first for him, I'm trading him away.
Oh, you can. 100%.
He's 28 years old. Again, that's still young for tight ends, but he's having a hard time staying healthy.
Yep.
And look, I mean, it's the age-old thing. It's you have to see on the damn field, and it's not just like it's been 1 year. It's every single freaking year. The guy
every year
injured. I'm just not into it. I'm not into it. So last year he only played 8 games. 2019 he played 14. 19 he played 14. 18 he played 16. So I guess it's really the last couple seasons, but if you can get him for cheap, and I'm not willing to pay a first rounder unless it's maybe a premium league, but I feel like it's too risky, man. There's so many little guys out there that you can just stream it, and you don't have to.
I don't know, man. I think if you look at all the playoff, if you look at your rankings right now in all your leagues, man, everybody that has an elite tight end is literally 1 through 4. Like
you're right, but
it's that big of a thing. Like I don't know. I feel like that tight end advantage is a big deal. Like
it is, but is he going to be on the damn field?
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, keep going. I just was curious.
Oh yeah, it's risky for me. So I mean, what about Elijah Mitchell? You comfortable starting Elijah Mitchell?
Of course, yeah.
Good, man,
just
right?
keep flexing him. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we don't need to talk too much about that game. Next game's kind of interesting, I think. Cincinnati at the Jets.
Yes.
It's a 43-point over-under, which is small, but since he's favored by 10.5 points. Let's talk about the Jets side first.
Okay.
Are you comfortable starting any of these guys?
Michael Carter is a sneaky start this week, guys.
Yes,
I think he can do well, and with the pass rush of Cincinnati, they're pretty damn good. This defense is pretty damn good, and I think with Tevin Coleman being hurt, the snap share is going up for Michael Carter every week, and I feel like they're going to be having to screen a ton this week because of that pass rush, and with Joe Flacco not knowing a goddamn thing about the offense.
It doesn't look like Joe Flacco is going to start.
Who's starting?
Like it's going to be White. It's going to be White starting this game.
Same thing. Then it makes it even worse. They're going to pound the football into the teeth of that defense, and they're going to throw screens and bubble screens. And I like Michael Carter. I think he's going to have an opportunity to be a PPR, 15 points.
You're starting Joe. Well, you're probably starting Joe Burrow if you have him. You're starting obviously the GOAT Jamar Chase. You're starting T. Higgins. Are you starting a guy like Tyler Boyd? He's just not. He's averaging 10 PPR points a week.
No.
If you have no other options because of injuries, you're starting Tyler Boyd. But that's right?
Dude, did you see T. Higgins' target share last week?
15. He had 15 freaking targets last week. Insanity.
Dude,
that's insane.
Dude. He has to go nuclear soon.
He's going to, yeah.
He's going nuclear soon. I think this could be the week with that. If it's not this week, it's gonna be. I think it's Joe Mixon week. He has the number.
I was gonna say your boy.
I think Joe Mixon is gonna absolutely smash the slate this week, and they're heavy favorites. I think they're going to be running the football. They're going to try and protect Burrow as much as they can. And I have a feeling that he's going to run for 2 touchdowns and 100. And I think he's just going to have crazy opportunity. He has it's a number 1 matchup for running backs against this putrid New York Jets defense. And also the tight ends show out against the Jets. So Uzomah Uzomah from the Bengals is in play here, guys, especially in DFS. If
a lot of people are saying it's going to be a letdown game, falling with two touchdowns from last week.
I don't care. The matchup is there. The matchup is a top 8 matchup against this defense, and I think Joe Burrow really likes this guy because he trusts him as a veteran. He can count on him. I think he's going to get a red zone look or two, and I'm telling you, like this. I think Joe Burrow is going to throw him a touchdown this weekend. I think the train continues.
I love the siege, man. I've been hiding him. Love it.
Yeah.
Look what the Patriots running backs did last week.
Who called that?
79 total yards and a touchdown. Damian Harris, 113 total yards and 2 touchdowns. JJ, my boy Taylor, 26 yards and 2 touchdowns. The running backs absolutely went nuclear last week.
Smash.
It's gonna happen again. Smash Joe Mixon into your lineups. It's gonna be a good week.
Let's smash. Yes.
Let's move on, shall we? Actually, I will say, play Jamison Crowder. Corey Davis is doubtful. He's going to get targets, right? It's going to be Michael Carter. It's going to be Jamison Crowder. It's not going to be much else. It's not going to be pretty, but they'll rack
it's going to be ugly.
Points. Cleveland going against Pittsburgh. Another AFC North slugfest. 42-point over/under. Cleveland's favored by 3.5 points. Nick Chubb, he's back.
Yeah,
he's back.
Smash. Yep, and he's got the full workload, man. I'm telling you, like Nick Chubb is gonna put a hurting.
You think so?
I don't know.
See, I think Dearness Johnson is gonna. After he puts up 150 yards last week,
system.
We saw it. I know it's a system, but who cares if it's a system, man? Like Cleveland is literally the best running back or O-line for running backs in the league right now, and we see what Cleveland's done, man. Kareem Hunt. I understand that. Dearness Johnson was more the Nick Chubb play here, but there's 2 very good running backs. He did it all. I think you're gonna why bang Nick Chubb into the ground? You might as well start Dearness Johnson. You might as well start Nick Chubb. I'm cool with it.
You know why? Because this is an elite defense, and you need elite players to beat the Steelers' run D. And I think Nick Chubb, he's designed for this kind of AFC North grimy game. He's designed for that. I think it's a low over and under of 42. That means they think it's going to be a slow paced game. That means it's going to be Najee Harris. It's going to be a lot of Nick Chubb, and I think Claypool's in play here. On outside, so he'll be lined up on the number 2 DB, and his volume is spiking since Juju has been hurt. I think Claypool's due for a big one.
Yeah, he's been obviously disappointing this year. He's only got 22 receptions this season and 1 touchdown.
It's a joke.
That's not good. It's
a joke.
Deontay's just getting a monster market share right now. That's just what it comes down to. And
I know it.
We know the talent is there with Chase Claypool. You're starting him. You're not going to bench him. It's consolidated market share. Big Ben, he's coming off the bye week, so maybe there's some magic that we saw early in the season, but that's I'm cool with that. Should we move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about the Denver versus Washington game. Now, this one's very interesting to me. It's 43 points. Denver's favored by 3. I'm going to let you go first because he's a sweet, beautiful child of the Flex Network. We love him. Who are you smashing into your lineups this week, especially if Jerry Jeudy doesn't play?
If Jerry Jeudy doesn't play, you smash, and you are going to be so happy with putting Cortland Sutton in your lineups this week. This Washington defense is the second worst secondary against wide receivers, okay? And if Jeudy is not playing, I guarantee you Sutton will have 10, 12 targets this week, and he could with that kind of share of targets, dude, he can go 125 plus with a touchdown. And what's his air? Do we have his air yards right now? Cortland Sutton's like top 5 in the league for air yards towards him for the wide receiver position. He's unbelievable right now, and he's
getting 132 air yards per game.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Dude, that's a lot. And that's a lot. That's a lot of potential. Like, especially with a bad defense like this, you can see ceiling games against Washington, and Washington's good enough to stay within the game to make them continuing to throw. So I think Cortland Sutton is a must start this week.
Yeah, I mean Washington is dead last in terms of big
Yeah.
plays allowed per game.
Dead
So
last. They're
he's gonna
terrible.
he's gonna play well, and I
How-
get to
How
Go ahead.
is this possible, dude? That defense was so good last year. Like, what the hell happened? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
they're not
understand
getting
it.
pressure.
Like,
They're not getting pressure
yeah.
on the quarterback, and that pressure, like Chase, like a guy like Chase Young, like it makes a difference. He's just not performing how we did last year,
People
and
got
then
tape on
it
him.
opens up everything. It opens up everything for the
Yeah.
DBs. So that's it. That's where it starts. Right, it starts with that defensive line.
Yeah, it's been unreal. Like I actually was taking that defense to the bank. I thought for sure that they could be the best defense in the division, and not even close.
Yeah,
Not
man.
even close.
So a couple players removed from the injury report this week on Washington. TMC was removed from the injury report. We love to see that. Antonio Gibson had no ankles, had no shins, and all of a sudden he's removed from the injury report.
Hey, I'm excited about him. Dude, I'm excited. I know I'm a Gibson guy. I will go down with the plane. I don't care.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is the first time he hasn't had an injury tag all year besides week 1, I think. And I think it's gonna. I think if that's the way they're leaning and he's feeling good, maybe his workload increases a little bit to what it used to be, and we can see a little bit of an outburst towards the end of this year. And maybe if you haven't bought him yet, you can get him probably 70 cents on the dollar right now. People are so fed up with him, and he's a guy that could legitimately win you a league if he's normal and doing what his normal workload is. That's a guy to think about if you want a solid RB2 that can get you that could possibly blossom at the end of the year, being healthy into an RB1.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm fed up with JD McKissick. I feel like I can't read when this guy is going to actually be able to play. You're starting him in absolute desperation, and that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it from the Washington side. Let's take a break here. Let's answer some questions for our loyal listeners. We got Bali. He said, "Who do you put in the flex? Are you playing? It's a half-point PPR. That's huge here. Half-point PPR. Okay. Kenny Gainwell, who is I think going to become, even when Miles Sanders comes back, Kenny G is going to be the main running back in that offense. I think."
Yep. It's 100%. Yeah. And I think they're gonna be throwing a ton. I think the injury of Miles Sanders is gonna inflate the workload of Gainwell and also inflate the workload of Goddard and Devontae Smith, because they got to do something with those looks, because they haven't been able to run the rock all year really. So I just feel like they're gonna just give up on that, and they're gonna just throw. Gainwell's going to turn into James White. He's going to turn into he legitimately can get you 10, 12 targets this week, because there is no Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. I mean, he's an explosive guy. He's a good journeyman running back, but he gets hurt all the time as well. So they probably won't give him a crazy workload. So I think it's Devontae Smith, Goddard, and Gainwell. Those are the three trifecta.
So are you starting Gainwell over Higgins, Landry, and Pollard?
No.
Who you starting?
I'm out of. People are going to be so mad when I say this. I'm staying with T. T's nuclear out. His volume. That's crazy. That's such good volume. You got to bank on it. You got to continue. I know it's scary. Right now with T Higgins, because of Jamar Chase is just is driving T Higgins owners nuts, because they're seeing all this freaking yardage going to Chase. But you know what? T has his opportunities, and I think sooner or later he's getting healthier. And maybe that hamstring wasn't 100% the last 2 weeks coming off his injury. I don't know, but I don't know. He down the field, he doesn't look the same to me. When he tries to,
it's going to take time. But 15 targets, man,
dude, you got to follow that.
You love to see it, and it's because he's got Jamar Chase on the other side picking up all that number one coverage. So I'm so Bally. I'm still leaning Kenny Gainwell here. You've got some really good options. I'm not starting Landry. I like Pollard. He's actually one of my flex plays. We'll talk about it when we get to the Dallas game. But you've got Kenny
Gainwell's is my flex play, my number one flex play this week.
So you're
Like,
starting Gainwell or you're starting Higgins. They're both good options. I
don't consider Higgins a flex. I consider him as a wide receiver too. You never take out. Like, you just keep him there.
Ball's got a good team, man.
You obviously got a great team, Bali.
All right, so Jennifer, you're starting Heineke, A.J. Brown, Jefferson, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, blah, blah, blah. You already played Tunyon. Okay, thinking of flex players. Claypool, because Juju's out, yes. Would you make any changes? I have Lockett, Crowder, and Chenault on the bench. No,
Nope.
you're starting Claypool.
Dude, I love ceiling play. You're going for the ceiling, especially in the flex position. Like, I go for the high upside guys, and Claypool possesses everything in upside that you want.
Yeah, and look, we know it's going to be a slogfest, but
yeah,
I get the feeling that coming out of the bye, man, they're gonna scheme up plays to get their explosive sophomore wide receiver in a game. You're starting Chase Claypool there.
Yes, he's still getting looks.
Be patient. Man, it's gonna happen.
And sucks.
It's gonna be an AJ Brown week. It's gonna happen.
Dude, AJ Brown is going freaking nuclear.
You're starting Jefferson, AJ every single week. You don't think twice about it.
Never.
We're gonna get to the Tennessee game in a little bit, but you're starting them. Absolutely. All right, let's move on. The Detroit up against the Philadelphia Eagles. We kind of talked about this game already. You're trying to swindle Swift off me in one of our dynasty leagues. Ain't gonna happen.
I know. I had to try.
Let's talk about the Detroit side. You're starting DeAndre Swift. You're starting TJ Hawkinson. Is there anybody else you're considering?
No.
Easy.
Sorry.
All right.
No.
on the Philly side, we just talked about Kenny Gainwell. You just talked about how you like the wide receivers in this game. Dallas Goedert, sweet, beautiful child, Dallas Goedert.
Finally released.
He's going to be a top 5 tight end for the rest of the season as long as he stays healthy. We love it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. I want Nick Sirianni to get freaking fired. It's just
he's terrible.
He's so bad. He's so
bad.
You want to tilt? People are just absolutely shitting on Jalen Hurts as if he's not the real deal.
It's his fault
to set him. It's partially his fault. Look, he's got to produce, right? But you got to set your players up to succeed, and they're not doing it. Philly, just when you thought it was going to get better.
But the cool thing about Philly, dude, the cool thing is you literally are like, oh, here's a fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts is going to score 2 touchdowns right now.
No, he's literally the only QB this season who's not had a week below 20 points.
He's a stud.
The only quarterback.
Honestly, he is. He's a stud. In all this mediocrity that we see from the Philly, don't blame it on Jalen Hurts. It's not his fault at all. It's not. Oh. It's the running game. They don't have a running game at all, like a real running game to control pace of play, and they aren't completely leaning on my guy Devontae Smith like they should. If Devontae Smith doesn't get 12 targets a game, they fucked up, in my opinion. They need to feed this guy double digits every single week.
They have to
every single week.
They need to get the running game going. They've had absolutely no running game, which is just, again, it's all about the game plan. When Miles Sanders is getting 3-4 carries a week, that is, I don't care if you're losing. At the start of the game, you're not losing. You need
they should go get they should go trade for Marlon Mack. And that could be a plug for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. And Shane, I ruined the Eagles. I love it. That's just how I roll, brother. That's just how I roll, brother.
That's so funny. I know. I feel terrible for everybody because some of my rosters for Dynasty have been decimated with injuries. Yes. So I feel sorry for anybody who I talked about because I put a straight hex on them for injury.
Yeah.
It's been bad. Irv Smith, JK, Rob Tunyon, freaking all sorts of people. Gus Edwards, dude, I have unbelievable lists of injuries.
We can't have nice things.
I broke them.
Right. Let's get to one of Mike's questions. He needs 3 for PPR. Boy. Kenny Gainwell, I like him. Damian Harris, I like him. Ooh. So basically, who are you sitting here? You're sitting Gainwell, Damian Harris, Antonio Gibson, or Javonte. It's got to be Javonte, right? That you're sitting. And that's not because we don't like the matchup, right? Denver going up against Washington. We love the matchup. Melvin Gordon's still there. Damian Harris is a de facto lead. Antonio Gibson, again, we talked about it. He's off the injury report. It's a tough matchup. But from a talent perspective, we love Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
And then Kenny Gainwell, he's got the usage. So I'm probably sitting Javonte, but this could also be the week where Javonte just breaks out. It's going to happen one of these weeks.
Dude, it's coming sooner or later. Honestly, I'm going to agree with you. You can't sit Gibson. I just
can't do it.
It would kill me to sit Gibson this week, and then he, has 80 for 2 touchdowns. And that's completely within realm of possibility.
Yeah, he's just an explosive player. We love it.
Yeah.
Houston at the Rams. Oh my God, the dumpster fighter that is Houston right now. You're starting Brandon Cooks. I love the fact that Brandon Cooks, Mark Ingram, he was not really making a difference, but he's just pissed. It's like, why are you trading away Mark Ingram? I guess maybe Mark wanted out. I don't know, but
I bet he was
pissed.
Dude, I would be pissed if I was stuck on that trash ass team. I'd be pissed too.
DeAndre Hopkins, man, like the best thing that ever happened to him was get out of Houston. Like that's just it. It was like a head scratcher at the time, and you're like, wow, he must be pissed off. But now he's with the Cards. They got their first loss, but it was a close game.
Houston pulled a Barron and traded away one of the best players in NFL for like a 2nd-round pick.
and a broken ass old running back. Love David Johnson. We
I didn't even include David Johnson in that because he wasn't even. He has zero value.
And of course, you're starting all your Rams, right? Last week.
This is a Higbee week. Higbee is going to smash this week, and it's because he's going against the worst defense against the tight end position. Every single week, tight ends score against Houston. Every single week. So please start I even consider I'm throwing him in my flex spot. That's how much I like Higbee this week.
Even in non-premium leagues?
Yep. I have him in my flex spot in a league because I think he's going to smash this week.
Darrell Henderson was a letdown last week, unfortunately.
Darrell Henderson's going to have a good week too.
I hope so. He was absolutely lined up last week against Detroit. It didn't happen. I mean, I guess Jared Goff or Stafford just wanted to embarrass his previous team.
That's pretty much what they.
For their part, they had a decent start. They were up like 10-0 or 10-3 or something like that.
You got to give them credit, man. They were going so
did the onside kick.
They didn't care.
They scored that first touchdown. I loved it. I respect that, man.
Yeah, me too.
It's just that's what we love. We love the fight. We need.
Yeah, I agree.
Mike, can we not talk about
who called Swift smash game? This guy.
Who called Swift smash season? So
I know you did, but like nobody was talking about him being the number 1 running back or number 2 running back the next week. I called out the number 1 and number 2 this last week for running back position.
If you dabble in the sweet art of DFS, I'm having Swift lineups pretty much every single week in my.
Dude, Swift is Christian McCaffrey. Like Swift is literally Christian McCaffrey right now. Like that's
how the greatest between the tackles runner, but who cares, right?
Dude,
in our half-point full PPR leagues, we love it.
I think he is a just fine runner. I think they're trying to not get him hurt in this horrible season that we have that they're doing. They don't want their best asset to be run down by next year when they actually have some draft picks that they can change over this roster. Like I honestly think they're protecting him a little bit.
So this will never happen. Deshaun Jackson came out and requested a trade, and the Rams basically agreed to it. D-Jax for Cooks, that'll never happen in a million years, Mike, but one can only dream. That would just be
be awesome.
That'd be way too sick. All right, so moving on. I like this game too, man. Indianapolis going up against Tennessee.
Ooh, boy, this is a good one. I like this game a lot too. Yeah, this is a good
players
one.
all over. We talked about Michael Pittman. He's going to be good. Jonathan Taylor, man, he had a slow start to the season.
Oh, boy.
He is slowly becoming an absolute monster. I mean, he always has been a monster, but it's starting to come through, right? We got roasted after the first couple of weeks because we were saying we were taking Antonio Gibson and JT over Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler is the RB2 right now.
Yep.
Rest of the season, Austin Eckler's kind of hurt. Jonathan Taylor is in prime form right now.
Jonathan Taylor, go ahead.
He's averaging over 5 yards per touch right now. Oh, Brandon, it's insane.
Hey, if you honestly, if you can swindle somebody for him in Dynasty, go for it. Like, honestly, because Colts still have a stink on them that people don't like. And I think he is a complete go all in for JT, dude. He's that kind of he's that.
Yeah,
I like
he's
him.
Getting 15 carries a game. We love that. Obviously, he's getting 3 targets a game, 2.5 receptions. So he's pretty much catching all his balls. He's getting 30 reception yards a game. And here's the best thing. In the past, they always stacked box against him. He always had 7.5 defenders in the box. He's only got 6.5 this season. And that's because the passing game is just good enough to open it up where they need to defend against Michael Pittman. Unfortunately, Paris Campbell's out, but
here we go. Let's talk about one of my flex plays I have this week that I highlighted this week that I absolutely love and that and you need to smash into your lineups is Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman, we talked about him preseason as one of those guys that you are getting in like the 9th, 10th round that can surface into a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2. Michael Pittman is doing exactly that. And this week he's going against Tennessee, which is the worst secondary against the wide receiver position. And with T.Y. Hilton back, I think that absolutely helps Pittman in the fact that coverage isn't all over Pittman. Like if you watch these games, they are, draping all over Pittman because there's nothing else on the other side of him. And with T.Y., I think that can pull some coverage away from Pittman and Pittman can succeed. And actually with Pittman, even in that rain last week, he caught every single ball for 100 yards and a touchdown. 4 for 4.
Good, man.
He's elite player and has an elite skill set. I think he's a buy right now for every kind of situation, especially for Dynasty, for even going into next year, because that's his 3rd-year breakout, and he's giving you everything you want to see in his sophomore season to tell you to trade for him in Dynasty. He's a stud.
Love Michael Pittman. T.Y. Hilton is irrelevant in fantasy football, but
he's a decoy.
Him on the field. Yeah, you want him on the field for Michael Pittman.
Yep.
Mike says, don't even mention Julio. I'll say Julio. No, he's out this week anyways. AJ
what
Brown,
a bummer.
Loving it. It's a bummer, but are we surprised, man? Like he's
I'm not
33 years old. It's just the writing was kind of on the wall. It is what it is.
Ageist
against those big, strong, the physical wide receivers. It's just the data doesn't lie, man. It is what it is.
It is.
Jacksonville going at Seattle. Can we just talk about Seattle for a second and how disappointing it is and how bad they are without Russell Wilson? If the rumors are true, now we're like, oh yeah, we would consider trading Russell Wilson. Like it's just how the mighty have fallen. Brandon, they're your team. I'm gonna let you talk about them.
I don't want to.
Get something off your chest,
I don't want to, man. Dude, honestly, it's not anybody's fault. It's just injury. Honestly, it's not.
Head coach, perhaps?
No. I believe this is a bloated roster for salaries. I think they made a horrendous trade for Jamal Adams when they got him, and they gave away.
You don't trade a first-round pick for a safety. You just don't do it.
2 of them, multiple first, not just one, multiple. And they had to pay this man they're going to have to pay him a top 3 salary for the position, probably the one. Like he'll
be the highest paid. He'll be the highest paid. And it's a sunk cost now. You invested, multiple first-round picks for this guy. It's just,
they literally thought they were buying Cam Chancellor again, and that's not. There's only one Cam Chancellor, guys. Like there's one.
He was a monster. Cam Chancellor was a monster.
Like
you're starting DK. You're starting DK. He saw it last week. He just needs one target, and he'll get you 85-yard touchdown.
That's a buy low in Dynasty. Go get DK. Like everybody, if there's an owner that's pushing for the playoffs that has DK, I guarantee you they're not feeling great about him. So if you have somebody or you can give them a package, that would be a nice get. DK in my eyes is still a top 5 wide receiver in Dynasty. Like he is hands down a top 5 player in Dynasty. But I've been hearing people are not. They're moving away from this offense because of this whole thing.
Who are these people?
Everybody, like all sorts of my friends, they're like, they're DK owners. They're talking about moving them because they can't trust them for the playoffs. Like that's what is coming out of their mouths. Like
that's irresponsible.
Hey, go get them. Yeah. Like exactly.
Yeah.
Go. Take advantage of that. Take advantage.
I love that. DK Metcalf, he's an absolute monster. Yeah, I agree with you. He's a top 3 to 5 wide receiver in the game right now.
Superstar.
He can do it on one play. He can do it with a shitty quarterback. We love it. You're starting him. James Robinson, man. I like him this week. He's gonna absolutely smash this week. James Robinson, Marvin Jones. We talked about him. Can you trust Laviska Shenault? Laviska,
No.
same deal. He's in that same mold of the Cordero
Deebo.
Pattersons and the Deebo Samuels. Like that's the kind of player that he is.
Yeah, but he's not on those teams. He's on the Jaguars, and Urban Meyer seems to have a vendetta against this kid. I don't know what it is. Against winning, against positive yardage. I mean, they literally ignore this guy, and then on the one touch they get, he has a 55-yard bomb. Like, please just give this kid 8 touches a week, and you're gonna enjoy some production, Urban Meyer. I yelled at you about James. You listened. You finally listened. James Robinson is a superstar, man. He is in a smash spot this week. Start the hell out of him. Enjoy. And dude, Seattle, I guarantee you, if things aren't going well by halftime, I can see this defense just going, fuck it. like they aren't, they're not going to care. Like they know they have Geno Smith. They know they have no chance without Wilson. Like, honestly, I can totally see everybody but Bobby Wagner will never give up. Like that's just who the man is. But everybody around him, I can totally see just going, whatever. Like they aren't going to go hard. I'm telling you.
Here's the thing about Laviska Shenault. His average target distance on the season is 6.35 yards. His air yards per game, he's at 42 air yards per game. He's not getting the deep. Like it's just
stupid.
There's no upside. Like
I can't believe it, man.
They're trying to manufacture touches. I get it. The problem is he's at 0 total touchdowns on the season. I get it. You can do better.
It's
love the talent.
It's coaching malpractice. It's coaching malpractice. And if I was honestly one of these contenders, I would try and go get Laviska right now. Like
that would be
go get him. Like add him as
like
a depth piece that and a gadget player that you can use. And like this guy has extreme physical talent, and he's a specimen, and he deserves some respect and to be on a team that appreciates him. So if I was GM, I'd go get him.
That'd be sick. That'd be amazing. I feel like because DJ Chark is a unrestricted free agent after this season, he's gone. They got to keep Laviska. They need some sort of a semblance of
why. They're going like they don't care. They don't like
he's good.
Him. It's obvious. It's obvious they don't like him. It's obvious to me.
But he's good. So who cares? Keep going. Keep going.
What about Urban? He don't care.
We don't care. All right, we got the Chargers going up against New England.
Oh yeah.
Austin Eckler did not practice last couple of days. Added injury report just on Thursday. A late ad is never good. Are you comfortable playing Joshua Kelly or Justin Jackson in the event that Austin Eckler doesn't play? No.
Maybe Justin Jackson in a flex in a real deep league. Like I could see that. Maybe Justin Jackson
Eckler doesn't play. If Eckler doesn't play,
dude. If Eckler doesn't play, you know who's a flipping must start and becomes an elite wide receiver 1?
Keenan.
Yeah. Keenan. If you look at his numbers when Eckler was out last year, he was literally a top 5 wide receiver. Like his target share boosted to ridiculous numbers. And this year has been a little bit weird with his volume. But this week without Eckler, Allen is a must play. Like he is a superstar, especially dude. DFS sneaky play, that's a good one. DFS.
So you want to do the tight end roulette this week?
Ew.
Are you starting Ricky Seals-Jones? Probably not. Evan Ingram, maybe. But even when there was no wide receivers, he did absolutely nothing next week. Hunter Henry, who's been balling out, he's been catching touchdowns. I kind of like Hunter Henry, and then Moelle Cox. He's been getting the usage. But it's a tough it's a tough matchup this week against Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to win with the receivers. I'm leaning towards Hunter Henry here. What about you? Who do you like,
dude? This is the easiest question we've had all morning. That is 100% Henry. Okay. Dude, the Chargers they aren't great against the tight end. Hunter Henry. No,
it's the number 5 matchup of the week.
Yeah, it's a number 5 matchup of the week, guys. Like follow that chart. I'm telling you, it's money. And you will unless Jonnu somehow sneaks in for a touchdown, the touchdown's going to Henry. Like, and it's going against his old team.
Yeah.
It's going against his old team, guys.
Ooh, it's right. The
Revenge narrative. Come on. Like this, like I'm telling you, Hunter Henry is a must this week. DFS, that's a good one. I like that too.
Yes, Mike. We had a nice couple rants, a few rants actually about the whole Ohio bar incident. So we won't rehash that. All right, moving on to the last game before we get to the evening games. New Orleans going up against Tampa Bay. Now this one is interesting.
New Orleans against Tampa Bay.
The kryptonite, it seems like, for Mike Evans, who is the number 5 wide receiver on the season right now so far.
Yep.
His kryptonite is the New Orleans Saints. He never plays up against
You're right.
them well.
Lattimore.
Yeah, Lattimore's a monster. He just has his number. Does that mean it's a Chris Godwin game? AB is going to be out. Gronk, we're not sure about yet. It's going to be a tough matchup for the run for Leonard Fournette.
This is 100% a Chris Godwin game.
Chris Godwin game, baby.
Chris Godwin game, man. Smash play, easy play. Yeah.
New Orleans, I don't trust anybody except for Kamara. That's it. Kamara or bust. Do you agree with that? Marquez, Trequan.
That's all you can do, dude. Like there is nothing you can. There is nobody else until Michael Thomas comes back. There is nobody else.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So that's it. We'll move on. Okay, last couple of games. We got the Sunday night game. We got Dallas going up against Minnesota. We kind of touched about this game.
Yeah, we did.
We touched on it. So, look, we don't know what's going to happen with Dak. You're still starting CD. You're still starting Amari. You're obviously starting the running backs. Are you starting Dalton Schultz? He's the top tight end right now.
Dude, right now, you got to, right?
Without Dak, though? Without Dak, Cooper Rush.
Without Dak makes it even better, in my opinion. Really? What's shitty quarterbacks binky on a field when they don't know what they're doing? It's a tight end. Like they always look for that big man in the middle right in front of them, right? So I could totally see Dalton Schultz being the guy because they're going to be doubling CeeDee Lamb and they're going to be having some kind of roll coverage on Amari as well. And I don't know. I'm all about run game if Dak doesn't play. And Dalton Schultz is a sneaky play. Even though it's not a great matchup, it's a middling matchup. It's actually a middling matchup all the way across the board for Dallas. So
that's when you defer to the talent. You defer to talent. They have a sick talent.
Yep.
I think Tony Pollard is going to have a hell of a game. I really think it's going to be a Tony Pollard game. He's one of my flex plays of the week. If you've got better options, like we talked about T. Higgins, Michael as a better option, Kenny Gainwell is a better option. But I think sneaky as hell, Tony Pollard. If you have him, I think it's a good week to start him this week.
Tony Pollard or Marvin Jones?
Probably Marvin Jones, just because you can bank on the usage a little bit more, right? He's the number 1 wide receiver. Trevor Lawrence is continuing to improve every single week.
That's for one of my rosters. Thank you. I have Marvin Jones.
That's what I would do. Yeah. Last game of the night, Kansas City in a good get-right game against the New York Giants. Sounds like Sterling Shepard's going to play. It sounds like Kadarius Toney's probably going to play. Saquon's finally getting healthy-ish. As healthy as he can get.
Saquon's not playing.
Back. Oh, Saquon's out?
Saquon ain't playing. I don't think he's playing. Is he? We got to clear that up right now. We got to find out 100%.
All right.
That's a big difference. I thought he wasn't playing.
I'm going to look right now. Saquon Barkley remains sidelined for Friday's Packers. Yeah, I assume he's going to be out.
He ain't playing. So that wheels up Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
Wheels up Sterling Shepard, guys. When this kid is playing, it's obvious that Daniel Jones, this is his number 1 guy. Like he's getting 10, 12 targets a game whenever freaking Daniel Jones and Sterling Shepard are in the games. So I really like Sterling Shepard. That's a great start for the week for the flex. Kadarius Toney, of course, I get it. Higher risk because he's coming off the ankle stuff, but like he's a star.
Reward, holy shit.
He's obviously got some ability, man. What do we say about him preseason? We said we don't really know what to think about him because he's so freaking raw. But if he can figure it out because of his talent, like he's going to be good. So he's obviously better than we thought.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney had a late breakout. He didn't really break out till his senior season. He never had 1,000-yard receiving game or season in his career.
He just had that look
in the first round. He looked good. He looks amazing. He had that dynamism. He would catch balls on punts and kick returns, and he is electric. We saw it. We saw that he can get open. And man, when he plays a game, we just want that freaking ankle. An agile wide receiver needs his freaking ankles. So
yeah, explosive guy. Yeah, and he's a yak guy.
I kind of want him to sit. I'll be honest. I kind of want him to sit. I want him to get healthy. I want him.
They don't have anybody else though.
They got Sterling Shepard. Do we really think that the Giants are going to beat Kansas City on Monday night when the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely need to win? I think they're going to put the pedal to the metal.
They're going to get embarrassed.
They're going to get embarrassed.
Yeah, they're going to get embarrassed.
It's going to be bad, man. I think that's a game. As somebody who is heavily invested in a number of Kansas City Chiefs on my fantasy teams through my portfolio, I'm going to be watching that game just knowing that, man. Hopefully, it's going to be a get right game for Travis Kelce, who, frankly, Travis Kelce has been disappointing this year. I mean, he's still getting you the points, but it has not looked good, and you need Patrick Mahomes to improve that decision making. But that's it. We did it again. We did it in 1 hour time, so we went a little bit over.
Sorry, guys. We got to cut down the bullshit in the beginning. I'm sorry.
It's fun, man. This is why we're here, right? It's just we're here to talk about football. We got real lives on the backside. It's Halloween. Loving Halloween. What are your Halloween plans? You just going trick or treating with the kiddos?
What's that?
You're just going trick or treating with the kiddos for Halloween?
Yeah. we're a little bit up. We're up in the mountains here, so everybody's a little spread out. So we're gonna go find we're doing like a pumpkin carving thing with the kids and all that good stuff, and then we'll be going to a certain neighborhood, and we're gonna go and go raid candy off these old people, and awesome. we're gonna get a bunch of it, and I'm excited. My kids just absolutely love Halloween, so I love Halloween. I love the spooky stuff. Like, do me a favor, guys, go watch a spooky movie tonight, like tomorrow. Yes. Like, watch
in that mood
movie, man. Like, this is what's fun. Go be a kid again. Like, I picked up my kids yesterday at school because they had their costume day. I picked them up in my Jason outfit, so that was pretty great. Awesome. Yeah, so awesome, I had this one mom just giving me the worst look. It was the best.
Freaking moms, man.
It was the awesome, best, dude. This mom was so pissed. It was so funny.
That's sick, man. We'll be safe. For those of you listening out there, watching us, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, if you like what you were listening to or watching, please like and subscribe us. We love the comments. We love the dialogue. Retweet our stuff. Talk to us on Twitter, man. We love an open dialogue. Challenge us. You think a player is going to be good that we say is going to be trash? Call us out on it. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. We're here to win together. We're here to flex on the leagues together. Brandon, where do the good people find you?
Find me on Twitter, Brandon D. Adam19. And remember, guys, this is AJ Brown, Joe Mixon week. Smash.
Ooh, baby. It's going to be a fun week. Start all your Bengals, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I'm Flex Shane. You can follow me on Twitter at the Flex Network 1. So for Brandon, for Season Long Says, for Flex Matt, I'm Flex Shane, and we are the Flex Network.
This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody.